Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to make batteries for your drone and how to make the charger for the batteries. So the cheapest way. So this is a lithium ion battery which I'm going to make. I need a 6S battery. If you are new to drone, it's the best way is to go with the 6S battery rather than lower voltage batteries because of the current. The current is high. Your system is going to get heat up fast and you need thicker wires. So I went with the 6S and your ESC need to support it. So I saw that some people are using these type of batteries. These type of batteries are lighter but not great for drones because of the drain. And I also saw these type of batteries. These batteries are fake batteries. They cannot provide 3000 milliamp. Like they say, 3000 milliamp cannot provide. It's around 1500 milliamp. Now this is a moly cell battery which I made. See, I solder it like that. I'm going to make a fixed battery. On the way, I will be telling you how to make your own battery too. Now, let me show you how a 3S should look like. Now, this is longer. We don't want it to be long, so cut it in like half. It should look like this. See the top side. We cut it in the negative to the positive. Here, the negative to the positive. This is the out. This is the positive out, and here going to be the negative out. Now, if you are going to 4S battery, it's got one more battery right there, and consider again like this, and cut it in half, so it goes like this. There you see, this is the top side, this is the positive, and this will go here, and this will go here, and this is going to be our negative. You will also have to solder two on here, here to here, and here to here. This is still longer. You could make it compact by like this. So it's a smaller package right now. So for us, but 6S is you cannot hold it. I found a 3D print file. In that you can just place batteries like this. Kind of cool. See how I am placing it. There we go. This is the 6S battery. Actually, this is the 6S. Now I have to solder from here to here, here to here, here. This is the output. Here to here, here to here, here to here. It's kind of convenient that it's already built. I will be having a link in description now if you move the batteries up. Now about the charging side, it's pretty different. Now you can buy this type of charger. This is actually for 3S battery, 2 and 3S batteries. So these chargers are great for 2 and 3, but we are having 6S. If you don't want to buy a big expensive charger, you could actually make your own charger. A different way of charging you will be needing is bunch of these. You don't need this, but I want to make sure you guys know. So this is a boost converter. You cannot use that. And now most of the buck or boost or even buck boost does not have CC and CV control, which is constant current and constant voltage control, which is needed for the charging of the battery. So you have to find a buck or buck boost that have the CC and CV. You can know by looking on the data sheet, or they will have two potentiometer. This is XR4015 chip, and this is also XL4015 chip, and this is XL, I think XL6009 chip. You see that I have two XL4015 chip, but still one of them is only having CC and CV control. Now, you see, these both chips are same, but the one difference is in more circuit components are there, and there is two potentiometer. And here we have the same chip we use here, but the potentiometer is only one and does not have a bunch of circuits like this have. Now this is due to even the chip is same. This is CV, means constant voltage, and this is constant voltage and constant current. You need a chip that have two potentiometer and have a same XL4015. I used this and it works pretty fine. And this can be used for charging lithium batteries. Now you'll also be needing some kind of power supply. This is a power supply that I have lying around. I didn't give it much thought, but I realized it's a very good power supply. Now this is a SMPS power supply. This is actually meant for LED lamps, and it has 300 watts 12 volt, which is quite good. But our battery is actually 24 volts, so you will be needing a 24 volt one or higher, 42 volt. If you could find this, you will be needing this too. This is a BMS. Everybody know about this, but you actually need this is necessary for the circuit, or else it will damage your battery. Even with this, it's recommended to have a BMS because you want to have it has balancing. This can't balance the voltage. The cells, it can damage the cells permanently. These batteries can be have a different voltage, different capacities. Over time it will build up and will damage the battery, overcharging, stuff like that. So I don't want you guys to have some issues, so just buy this and just use it. This is a BMS charged with this and this and a power supply, so use that to charge this battery. Then we can place it like that and solder the wires and do it, no big deal. So I'll show you that. I'm using copper wires for the connection, and you can use a different one. You can use the non-soldering way. You can go with it, but I'm using solder. Now this is the panel battery. You see the two terminals, the negative, positive, and the top side. And this is the bottom side. Now I don't recommend you guys to do with the soldering method. It's quite hassle. So there we have it. Now we are going to connect this thing. Now in this video we are using a 6S, but if you have a 3S battery you can go with a 3S charger. It's a cheap charger with a 10 amp charging capability, and I will show you how to do that, but I will be showing you on the 6S one, which is the quite same P1. We have the P1, everything just same. So first of all, you have to solder wires to the BMS. They take a bunch of wires. You don't need longer wires like this. Now this is the BMS. So how do we connect it to the battery? I'll show you that too. Now this is the 12 volt positive and 24 volt positive and 24 volt negative. So if you check with the multimeter, you will see how much volt it is. But first of all, you have to make a scratch, some ways to solder it. If you're going to solder, I would not recommend you guys to solder it because you see right there, the soldering lead just don't stick well. So now we're going to solder the BMS to the battery. So see the first pin, this is the B minus, which is the negative, and you have to connect it to the negative. Then the B1, which is positive. The first B1 is actually this. This is the B1. Then this is the B2, which is the same positive, which they are asking is the B2. Now you see B1 is the positive, and the B2 is still positive, and B3 is the here, this is the positive. Then we go here, this is the B4 because we connected from here to here, and the B4. Then we connected here, so this is the B5, and this goes here, so this is the B6. This is a B6 is just basically B6 is basically the B plus. So that's the final one. So this is our new BMS. Our BMS is ready basically. You see the it's like this. So for the video, I'm using longer wires so you guys can see how the wiring goes. Now, if you are, most of the people who knows how to use BMS, so most of them don't know how wiring works for the BMS. So that's why I'm using larger wires. I mean, longer wires. You see that only on the this side we're only using the negative. Only negative in here is only one negative in the BMS, and others are always positive. After the first negative, then we connect it to the positive of the battery, then again a positive, positive. You see here positive, positive, positive. There is no negative, there's only one negative you needed to wire. So then what you need to do next is you have to wrap around. I have a lot of wires, so don't do like I did. But if you are just being cautious, you can use longer wires. Now the BMS, the charging port for this is this one. So the B minus is the negative and B plus is the positive. So you need wire for that too. I got this wire. This is I think 16 gauge wire. Now I have connected a wire for the charging. So this is the negative to the negative, and I use this XT60. Now about the power supply, you have to use this type of power supply. Now this is for SMPS. I said again. Now you see sometimes they say watts. So I have 12 volts. We need 24 volts. So now 24 and 300 watts. If you do the calculation, it's around 25 amps. So 300 divided by 12, you get 25 amps for the 12 volts. So we need 24. So it's twice. So around 20, it's twice. So we get a 12.5 amps on 24 volts. So don't go 12, just go with the 10 amps. Now, one thing I want to say is while calibrating the voltage of the multimeter, you have to make sure that this is correctly calibrated to the 4.2 voltage for each battery. So uh, for the 6S battery, the voltage needed is 25.2. That's the maximum. So let's say you buy this multimeter, say a pretty cheap one, or else if you have a expensive multimeter. Now it doesn't matter. All the multimeter have a value point error rate, 1% error rate. So on DC it has 1%. That means you should not put on the 25.2 voltage on the multimeter. Then you calibrate it with that. The error will be approximately 25.5. So a higher side 25.5, which is very dangerous for your BMS and the battery too. Now the BMS can stop it, but still it's not good idea to go with it because the BMS will get heated and can damage if you are not looking at the BMS and checking the temperature every time. So if you are having a 12 volt system, now 12 volts, I'm having 12 volt power supply, so I have to use a boost converter to increase the voltage to I think 20. I think I got it at 30. Yeah, I think I got 30. So I boosted to 30 volts. Then I have to calibrate in the output to 24.8. Now you can connect the BMS, and the max amps will be always going to be lower than 5 amps. So you don't have to be scared of it. You have to get no need to get scared of getting blown up, but you could check the amps. See there, you're getting 18.3 volts, and when you turn it off, you get the actual volts, which is 22.6. So it's actually working like an actual charger. Now it's and thank you for watching.